Good morning, everyone. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Whether my screen is visible? Whether my screen is visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay. So, welcome for the LDCO's lecture. Let me share my screen and present the PPTs. Before we start with your syllabus, we'll discuss your syllabus first. Okay. So, I'm Sujata Suryanshi and I'm going to teach you LDCO subject. Stands for Logic Design and Computer Organization. In your syllabus, means from your 2019 pattern, two different subjects are merged. That is, in the previous pattern, the digital electronics and logic design. This was the separate subject, and computer organization was the separate subject. From 2019 pattern only, the two subjects are merged and becomes LDCO. Okay, so you can think about the how this subject is vast, because as this subject is merged from two different subjects of the previous syllabus. Okay, so these are the different course outcomes. Means after completion of this course, the student or you will be able to do all these concepts. Okay, so the first CO, that is course outcome, is able to you will be able to perform basic binary arithmetics and simplify logic expression. In your first CO or in your first unit, you will be able to do all the arithmetic. Binary arithmetic means whether it can be addition, multiplication, subtraction, binary, and you will be able to convert any number system from any number system. Okay, so this is the course outcome of your first unit. Then the second course outcome is you'll be able to grasp the operation of logic ICs and implement combinational logic functions using ICs. In the digital electronics, different circuits are there. Okay, and the complete circuit is divided into two types of circuits. First one is the combinational circuit, and second one is the sequential circuit. So the combinational circuit related information is given in your second unit, and which is given by this second CO, that is course outcome, which is how to implement and how to design the combinational circuit. You will be able to design any combinational circuit in the second one unit. Then in the third one unit comprehends the operation of basic memory cell type and implement the sequential logic functions using ICs. As I told, the complete circuit is divided into two different types of circuit. So first circuit is explained in second unit, and second circuit, that is the sequential circuit, is explained in the third one unit. And very important difference between combinational circuit and the sequential circuit is what? The extra element is added in the sequential circuit which is not available in the combinational circuit, which is called as memory unit. As we all know, what is use of memory unit? Can anyone tell me what is use of memory? As we all are using smartphones, and your smartphone is also having memory, your computer is also having memory, then what is purpose of that memory? Can anyone tell me?
To store the data.
Storage of data.
Yes, to storage purpose. Okay, so this storage is not required in combinational circuit, as output of that particular circuit is depend on the current state of input in case of combinational circuit. But in case of sequential circuit, the output of that circuits are depend on current state input and previous state output also. That's why to store the previous state output, the sequential circuit requires memory. So this is very important and basic difference between combinational and sequential circuit is what? The memory unit is absent in combinational circuit and it is present in sequential circuit to store the previous state output. Okay. Then the next CO, that is fourth one CO, is elucidate the functions and organization of various blocks of CPU. Means this in your syllabus, first three units are based on digital electronics, and remaining three units are based on computer organization. So all the concepts regarding CO will be explained in CO 4, 5 and 6. Means all the CPU related information, all the instructions, different types of instructions are also explained in the fifth one unit, that is understand CPU instruction, how your computer works. That particular information is given in your next 3 units, that is CO 4, 5 and 6. Okay, so we'll start with your first one unit. In your first unit, just remember this first topic, that is digital logic families. I hope you all know about these concepts as you are having electronic subject in your first unit, or sorry, first year. Okay, so this is very theoretical concept. We will start today with this concept, that is number systems and the operations arithmetic of the number systems. Okay, so let me start my PPTs first. So in the today's lecture, I'm going to cover these concepts, that is number system and the types of number systems. As we all know, I hope you know about that number systems. What are the different types of number systems and how to convert that number systems? Do you know? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, I'll take this in brief, the number system and the types of number system, and why this subject is introduced in your syllabus. As you are going to become IT engineer, then what is the use of this subject, digital electronics subject? Okay, why this subject is introduced in your syllabus? As we all know, we use computer. Okay, but the computer don't know the decimal number system. It knows only the binary number system. So you should know how we are giving as an input to the system through keyboard decimal numbers only. Okay, we are giving as input decimal number, then how the system react to the decimal number, because the decimal number system not understood by the system. Okay, so that decimal number system has to convert it into ASCII number or the binary number by your system, then only that system can understand the input, what input is given by the user. Okay, so for that purpose only this is this lecture or this syllabus is introduced, or subject is introduced in your syllabus. So first of all, you should know analog and the digital signal, because in information technology department, the how the complete information is used or how the information is processed by your system is given. Okay, but here how the information should be stored in the form of analog or the digital. Okay, means it can be analog signal or it can be digital signal. If you want to send any information from one end to other end, then you need to use whether network. Through network only you can send the data from one end to other end. Okay, so that data or that data can be stored as analog or the digital signal. So we'll see about that analog and the digital signal. So start with analog signal. In the analog signal, the physical quantities or signals may vary continuously over a specified range. As we all know how to show analog signal, the example of analog signal is the sine wave. Okay, so the data is stored in the analog signal in the continuous form. Okay, it is not a discrete form as compared to digital electronics. In the digital signal, the data is stored in the discrete form, and in case of analog signal, the data stored in the continuous form. Okay, so this is the example of analog signal. This is one of the example of sine wave only, and where we can see this is the magnitude of your signal, which is shown by red color. Okay, shown in the red color, it is the magnitude of the signal, and this signal stores the information in the form of magnitude only. Okay, so the change in the magnitude is the change in the data. In this form only the data is stored in case of analog signal. But in the digital signal or the digital system, The physical quantities or elements or the signals can assume only discrete values. They are not continuous as like analog signal. Okay, and this system has greater accuracy. Why it has greater accuracy? Because this is the example of digital signal where the data is stored in the discrete form, not in the continuous form. Okay, so as we all know, in the networking, suppose if you want to send the data from one end to other end, and if the distance between two ends are too large, then in between entities, means in between sender and receiver, the noise will get added into the data. Okay, but if the noise is added into the analog signal, then this magnitude, okay, or the amplitude, it is called as the amplitude. This amplitude noise will get added into the amplitude, and where the actual information is stored. Means when you are sending the analog signal from one end to other end, and if the noise is added into your signal, then it will change your amplitude, or it will change the magnitude of your data. Means what? It will change the actual data, and no actual data will be received at the receiver end in case of analog signal. Okay, but in case of digital signal, no such amplitude is given here, or the magnitude is given here. Only the data is stored in the discrete values. Okay, so if such a signal we want to send from one end to other end, and if in between sender and receiver the noise gets added into that signal, then it will just what I can say, that particular noise will get added into the magnitude, but the actual information is stored in the discrete form only. Okay, so we'll get the actual data at the sender side. Okay, so that's why the digital system has greater accuracy as compared to the analog signal. Now we'll see about the binary digital signal. Means the digital signals are again having different types of signal, whether it can be binary signal, octal signal, or any type of digital signals we can use. Okay, so the name suggests binary digital signal means this digital signal which has only two distinct values, and whenever the digital signal form, only that signal is having only two values, whether it can be 0, 1, whether it can be true or false, or it can be low or high, or on or off. Okay, so with the help of that values only the digital signal forms, then it is known as the binary digital signal. So this is the diagram of binary digital signal, where the information stored at the level 1 and level 0, not in between. Okay, so that's why it is called as undefined, because the value is not stored in between 0 and 1. Values are stored in between logic 1, at logic 1 and at logic 0. Okay, so this is the example or the diagram of binary digital signal. Now we'll see the next concept, that is number system. So we know about the number system, that is different types of 4 different types of number systems are there. It is decimal number system, binary number system, octal number system, and the hexadecimal number system. Okay, so we'll see about each number system in detail. Here this table shows the difference between all the number systems. That is, suppose we'll see the decimal number system, and these are the different bases written under this bracket. Okay, so the decimal number system has base 10, then the binary number system has base 2, octal number system has base 8, and hexadecimal number system has base 16. Suppose you want to show any number system using base, then you need to simply write down that number and write down the base at the right corner of that particular number. Okay, so here the base indicates the number of distinct values that particular number system have. Okay, so suppose decimal number system has base 10, then the total distinct values, distinct means with the help of that symbols only we can represent any decimal number. So in the decimal number system, distinct values are 0 to 9. So the lowest value is 0 and the highest symbol is 9. With the help of these 10 symbols only, we can represent any decimal number system. Okay, and it is used by human. It cannot be used by computer. Okay, then the binary, again binary is having two base, means what? This indicates total number of symbols used by that number system to represent. Okay, so only 0 and 1. The lowest value is 0, the maximum value is only 1. So with the help of these two symbols only, we can represent any binary number. Again, it is not used by human, but it is used by computers. Then the octal number system, that is having base 8. 8 means what? Total number of distinct values will be 0 to 7. The maximum symbol used to represent octal number is 7. So 0 to 7. Then similarly for a hexadecimal number system, hex means 16. So the base is 16 and the total number of distinct values will be 0 to 15. Okay. So, but while the representation of any hexadecimal number system, you need to write down first 0 to 9 and how to represent 10 and onwards number just by using capital A, B, C up to F. So with the help of these symbols only, you can represent any hexadecimal number system. Okay. So suppose this is the number system, and how to represent any decimal number system we know very well. Suppose this is the number decimal number, that is 97142, and how to represent that, because each number is having the specific weight. Okay, suppose this 2 is the unit number, that's why 2 into 10 raised to 0, as this number is by decimal number. Okay, so decimal number is having base 10, that's why you need to write down the number in the form of weight 10. Okay, as that number is having base 10. Okay, so you need to write down the number by base, and base should be base to the power 0, 1, 2, 3 and on. Okay, then there are 4 systems of arithmetic which are often used in the digital circuits, and these systems are decimal, binary, octal and the hexadecimal number. So we'll see about that in detail. So in the decimal number system, the base is 10. Base is also called as radix, and total number of distinct values are 10 numbers. So 0 to 9 numbers are there, and how to represent that? Suppose 512 number you want to represent, then the weightage of 2 is 1, means 2 into 10 raised to 0, that is equal to 1. 1 into 10 raised to 1 and 5 into 10 raised to 2. Like this, you have to represent any decimal number. Okay, and if fraction number is there, then you need to write down 10 to the minus power. So 7 into 10 raised to minus 1 and 4 into 10 raised to minus 2. Like this, you can represent any decimal number. Okay, so here the magnitude is sum of the digit into weight. So to get the actual magnitude, you have to write down the digit and multiply that digit with the weight with respect to the position of that particular number. Okay, and how to denote the decimal number? Just by using the number and use the base of that number system, like this. Okay, after that we'll see the binary number system. Binary numbers is having base 2. Binary means the 2. Okay, so total number of distinct values are 2 only, 0 and 1. And after that, single digit of binary number is called as bit. Okay, and group of 4 is called as nibble, and group of 8 binary digit is called as byte. Okay, then the weight is equal to base and the position. Here suppose the binary number is given 101.01, like this. Okay, so fraction number is given here, so decimal point is available here. Then this 1 is having weight 0, as we have to multiply this 1 by 2 raised to 0, because base of the binary number system is 2. That's why we need to multiply each digit by 2 raised to the power. Okay, as per the position of that particular bit. So 1 into 2 raised to 0 is equal to 1. Then 0 into 2 raised to 1. and 1 into 2 raised to 2, like this. Okay, and here 2 raised to minus 1. So 0 into 2 raised to minus 1 and 0 into 2 raised to minus 2. Like this, you need to write, represent any binary number system. And suppose this is the binary number and you have to convert it into decimal number system. So simply you need to multiply each binary digit by weight of that particular digit. So 1 into 2 raised to 2 plus 0 into 2 raised to 1 plus 1 into 2 raised to 0 plus, and the negative decimal point numbers we need to write down here. Then you'll get the equivalent decimal number, that is 5.25. And how to represent decimal number? Just by using the base, that is 10. Okay, and if you want to represent the binary number, then simply use 101.01 and base is 2. Okay, as I told previously, that is group of 4 binary digit is called as nibble. Group of 8 binary digit is called as byte, and single digit binary digit is called as bit. Okay, then the decimal number system I have already explained you. After that, the octal number system is there. The name suggests octal means what? The base is 8, means total number of distinct values are 0 to 7. Then the weight is equal to, here the example is given, that is 512, that is 512. Suppose this is the octal number. Okay, then 7.74. Then you need to simply multiply each digit by the position of that particular number. Okay, so 2 into 8, base is 8, that's why 8 raised to 0, then 8 raised to 1 and 8 raised to 2. So 8 raised to 1 is equal to 8 and 8 raised to 2 is equal to 64. Like this, you need to just multiply each octal digit by base 8 to the power as per the position. Okay, so how to represent any octal number? Simply to 512.74. Just see, whenever you are representing any octal number, your number should be less than 8, as the distinct values used to represent any octal numbers are only 8 from 0 to 7. Means we cannot represent octal number using 8 symbol, because 8 is invalid in the octal number system. It is valid in the decimal number system, it is valid in the hexadecimal number system, but it is not valid in octal and in case of binary number system. Understood? So with the help of that symbols only, you can represent any number system. So after that, the hexadecimal number system, hex means 16. So total number of distinct values we can use to represent any hexadecimal number is 0 to 15. Total 15 numbers are there, but we cannot write as 10, 11 in case of hexadecimal. We need to write down capital A to capital F to represent 10 to 15. Okay, so here this is an example, that is 1E5.7a. So here E means what? What do you mean by E? Yes, in case of hexadecimal, what is the value of E?
14.
14.
E means 14, F means 15, like this. Okay, and if you want to convert this hexadecimal number into decimal number, then just you have to multiply each digit or each hexadecimal digit by 16 to the power as per the position of that particular bit. Okay, so 5 into 16 to the power 0, E into 16 to the power 1, and 1 into 16 to the power 2. So we'll get the positional value, that is 256, 16 and 1. And for the decimal bit or the fractional bit, you need to simply multiply by 16 to the negative power, means 7 into 16 to the 16 to the power minus 1 and 16 to the power minus 2, like this. So how to represent any hexadecimal number? Just by using this 16 as a base, means 1E5.7a and 16 is the base of that number system. So in this way, you can represent any number system using these symbols, means hex numbers using symbols 0 to F. So this is the number system. After that, how to convert one number system into another number system. We'll see here 4 different number systems are there. So decimal to binary, we can convert decimal number into octal, decimal into binary, decimal into hex, or we can convert octal to hexadecimal, octal to binary, octal to decimal, like this also. Okay, so how to represent and how to convert that number system, we'll see right now. Here the decimal to binary conversion means what? Consider the given number 13. Okay, 13 is the decimal number. Whether it is decimal or hexadecimal number, can you tell me whether 13 is decimal or hexadecimal?
Decimal.
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 Why it is not hexadecimal? Because hex is also having distinct values 15. Na? How to represent hex number?
Ma'am, there we use
Six.
alphabets.
Okay, for 13, which alphabet we should use here for hex number?
C.
D.
D.
C.
C.
D.
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 10, yes. 10 is represented by A, 11 is represented by B, then 12 is represented by C, and 13 is represented by D. Okay, so in this way you can represent any number from means 10 and onwards, 10 to 15 numbers using A symbol to F symbol, A, B, C, D, E, F, like this. Okay, so here this we have to convert 13 decimal number. Why 13 is decimal number? Because we can see here 10 is written, means the base of that number system is written. So base is 10 means this number is decimal number. Okay, and you have to convert the decimal number into binary number. Then how will you convert it? Do you know? Yes?
Divided by its base.
How to convert any decimal number into binary?
Divided by its base.
Very good. Divided by base. Divided by 10. Yes? Can we divide that number by 10?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, remaining student, anyone is having different answer?
Dividing by
Very good.
dividing by
Very good. Very good. Very good. As this number is decimal number and we want to convert it into binary number, so the resultant number system is having base 2. That's why you need to divide the given number by base 2 only, because the resultant number is binary number. Okay, so we need to divide the number by base of the resultant number system, that is 2. Okay, so we need to continuously divide 13 by 2 till you get quotient 0, and while you are dividing that number we need to record the remainder. Okay, so here we can see, suppose 13 divided by 2, quotient is 6. Okay, but we get remainder is equal to 1. We need to record the remainder, so remainder we get, that is equal to 1. After that, here we get 6 as a quotient, so consider that 6 and again divided by 2, so 6 by 2 is equal to 3. Now we get remainder 0, so record that remainder, and again 3 divided by 2 is equal to 1. Again we get remainder 1, so record that remainder, again 1 divided by 2. You have to repeat this step till you get quotient 0. Okay, so here we get quotient 0, that's why we have to stop here, but again you need to record the remainder. We get remainder 1, so record that remainder, and every time just remember, write down the remainder in the reverse order. Okay, so as we get remainder, first remainder as LSB bit of the binary number, that's why I have represented by A0, and MSB bit is represented by A3. That's why whenever you are converting any decimal number into binary, you have to simply divide that number by base 2 and record the remainder and write down the remainder in the bottom to up direction. Okay, so from bottom to up, 1 1 0 1. So this is the equivalent binary number of given decimal number 13. Okay, so the decimal number is 13, and how to represent binary number? Just by using this Remainder in the reverse order means from bottom to up order, that is 1101. In this way, you can represent any decimal number into binary. Understood or not? Just take one example here. Convert the decimal number 23 into binary number. All of you, and tell me the answer. 23 is the decimal number.
Zero one one one.
Yes, what do you get as answer?
10111.
Very good. Vishwesh, your answer is wrong, huh? Because you are not included the last one. You have to repeat division till you get quotient 1. Okay? You just stop when you get quotient 0. That's why your answer is wrong. Okay? So you need to divide the given number by base 2 till you get quotient 1. So the right answer is 10111. So this is the base binary number system, equivalent binary number system of decimal number 23. Okay. So here, look at this TPT. As I told you, A0 is the LSB. MSB and LSB. So here A0 is the LSB and A3 is the MSB bit. That is most significant bit is the MSB bit, which is having highest weight. So A3 is having highest weight and A0 is having low weight. So LSB stands for significant bit. So here is LSB and one is LSB. This one is LSB and last one is MSB. Okay. So after that, here why we are studying this binary number system? The examples are given here. That is, the computer works only on 2 states, whether it can be on or off. Or similarly, we are using different electronic machines or electronic equipment in our day-to-day life, that is fan or any type of electronic machine we are using in day-to-day life. That particular system uses 2 different states only, whether it can be on or off, 0 or 1, like this. Okay, so this number system is having single bit, single digit, that is binary number system. So after that, we'll see any base to the decimal conversion. So any base means what? You can convert binary to decimal, then octal to decimal, hex to decimal. Okay, so for that, all three conversions, you need to follow the same procedure. Okay, so what procedure you need to use here for the conversion from any base to decimal? So the step is given here, that is converting from any base to decimal is done by multiplying each digit by its weight and summing. Okay, so here suppose you want to convert the binary number system into decimal number system, then how will you convert? The given number is 1011.11 and this is your binary number as 2 is written at the base. Okay, so this is the binary number and you have to convert it into equivalent decimal number. Then simply multiply each digit, each binary digit by 2 to the power as per the location or as per the value of that particular bit. Okay, so start with, always take this decimal point. Okay, consider this decimal point and start with this one. Okay, means at the leftmost bit of this decimal point. Leftmost bit is 1. So 1 into 2 raised to 0 plus next digit is again 1. So 1 into 2 raised to 1 plus 0 is the next digit. So 0 into 2 raised to 2. You need to multiply each binary digit by the incrementing power of 2. Okay. So 1 into 2 raised to 3. And now take, again use this decimal point and consider the fraction number. So 0.11 is the fraction number. Then how to multiply and how to convert it into decimal number? Just by multiplying each fractional bit by 2 to the negative power. Okay. So again consider this decimal number and start with rightmost digit, that is 1. So 1 into 2 raised to minus 1 plus 1 into 2 raised to minus 2. Okay. And then find out the values, that is 1 into 2 raised to 3 is equal to 8. Then 0 into anything is equal to 0. 1 into 2 raised to 1 is equal to 2. 1 plus 0.5 plus 0.25. So, and after that you need to just sum all the values to get the equivalent decimal number. Then the binary number is 1011.11 and the equivalent decimal number of the given binary number is 11.75. So, and use this base 10, it is the representation of the decimal number. So the equivalent decimal number is 11.75. Understood? So do right now, I'll give you one example. Convert the given binary number. Binary number is 10111. 0.01. Yes. The given binary number is 10111.01. What will be your answer? And you need to convert it into equivalent decimal number.
Ma'am,
Yes.
11.70.
11.25.
तुम्ही answer question काय घेतला आहे? I said convert the binary number 10111 1011.01.
23.25.
23.25.
25.
Is it right?
23.25.
Yes, ma'am. 23.25.
Yes. All of you getting the same answer? 23.25?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Very good. Right answer.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So, and every time just remember, whenever you are writing binary number, don't miss to write the base of that particular number. Okay. Just write down the number in bracket and write down the base of that particular number. Okay. Now, the next is convert the following binary number to the decimal number. Your binary number is 1101 and you have to convert it into binary. So simply multiply each digit by 2 to the power. You'll get the equivalent binary decimal number. The answer is already given in the PPT. You just do it in your notebook. Now, write down the next example and consider it as homework. Convert 1101.0111. And what number is given here? Whether it is decimal number? Yes? The given
Binary
number
number.
is, yes, the given number is binary number and
Binary.
you have to convert it into equivalent decimal number. So consider it as your homework, complete it. Okay. Now, the next concept is octal to decimal. So the octal number, as I said, that the octal number is having total distinct values from 0 to 7. So just tell me, I'm giving you an example. The number is 83. Whether it is octal number or not, can anyone tell me? Whether it is octal number or not?
No, ma'am.
Why
No.
no?
No, ma'am.
Why?
No, ma'am.
No.
It is there.
Very
8 is
good.
not
Because
octal.
8 is invalid octal number, as the valid octal numbers are only from 0 to 7. So whenever you want to represent or convert any number system into octal, then you just remember that your equivalent or the resultant octal number should be in between 0 to 7 only. Okay. And if you get the octal number which is beyond 7, then your answer is wrong. Okay. So just write down first 15 octal number. Can you write it down? Write down first 15 octal number. How to write? As the symbols are only 0 to 7, so 0 to 7 values are same as decimal number. But how to write 8 in case of octal number? You simply have to write down 1 0. That is same. Okay, so 1 0, 1 1, 1 2, 1 3, like this. So 8 is represented by 1 0 in octal number. Okay, 9 is represented by 1 1 in octal number. Then 10 is represented by 1 2. 11 is represented by 1 3. Like this, you need to write down all first 15 octal numbers, as you cannot use 8 9 in the representation of octal number. Okay, so here this is the octal number 137, and if you want to convert the octal number into decimal number, as the octal number is having base 8, so you need to simply multiply each octal digit by 8 to the power. Okay, so here 7 is the least significant digit and 1 is the most significant digit. So start with least significant digit and multiply by 8 to the power 0. The next digit is 3, so 3 into 8 raised to 1 and 1 into 8 raised to 2, and just add the values to get the equivalent decimal number. So the 95 is the equivalent decimal number of the given octal number 137. Okay, so the digit used in the octal number is 0 to 7 only. If your result is greater than 7, then your result is wrong. Okay, or you get wrong answer. So now next is what? Just write down the example. Convert the octal number 634 and 380 into decimal number. Convert the given octal number into decimal number 634 and 380. Again, consider it as homework. Do it. Okay, I'll ask you in the next lecture. Now, next one is the hex to decimal. Hex to decimal means the given number is hex number and you have to convert it into decimal number. Okay, so how will you convert? Same procedure you need to apply here. That is, hex number is there, means base is 16. So multiply each hex digit by base 16 to the power. Okay, so start with LSB digit only. Consider any number system, and every time if you want to multiply by base, then every time start with LSD digit, that is least significant digit. In this BAD, that is BAD, D is the least significant digit of hex number and B is the most significant digit which is having highest weight. Okay, so D into D means what? 13. So first convert it into decimal value. We cannot multiply this D in by 16 to the power. That's why simply convert it into decimal number first. D is represented by 13. So 13 into 16 raised to 1. Again A is represented by 10. So 10 into 16 raised to 1. And B is represented by 11. So 11 into 16 raised to 2. Okay. And after that, find out the values and add all the values to get equivalent decimal number. So 2989 is the equivalent decimal number of the given hexa number. hexadecimal number. Okay, so write down this weightage of A to F. A is equal to 10, B is equal to 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. So here in this way we can convert any hex number into decimal number. Actually it is little bit confusing when you convert reverse, that is decimal to hex, decimal to binary, decimal to hexadecimal like this. Okay, so just remember in the today's lecture we have seen how to convert any base, any radix, any base number system into decimal number system. Okay, so binary to decimal, octal to decimal and hexadecimal to decimal. So whenever you want to convert into any number system into decimal number system, you have to remember the base. Okay, and you have to remember all the steps. Just multiply each digit, each input number system digit by base of that particular number system only. Okay, because here we are converting hex to decimal. Decimal is equivalent. So we are not multiplying digit by 10 to the power as the resultant number is 10. Right? I'm multiplying each digit of hex number into base of hex only. Similarly, binary to decimal, then I'm multiplying each digit, each binary digit into 2 raised to the power. Okay, means base of the binary number system only. So just remember, write down that step and do all the homework. Okay, again write down these numbers 84E. The given hexadecimal number, you have to convert it into equivalent decimal number. The hex number are 84E and the second hex number is 1010. So remember, this number is given in the form of 0101. Okay, so you can think like this, the given number is binary number, but no, just look at the base of that number. Base is 16, means the given number is hex number. Okay, so 1010 is the hex number and you have to convert it into equivalent decimal number. So I have given 3 different examples as your homework. So do it today. I will ask you in the tomorrow's lecture. Everyone, all of you getting this concept, the number system and the conversion from any radix to the decimal number. Yes? All of you getting this concept?
Yes, ma'am. Can you share this PPT?
Yes. I will share these PPTs also. Okay. So thank you for patiently listening and joining for the lecture. You just mark your attendance in the chat box. Write down, write down the number and your name.
Thank you, ma'am.